Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to Hooray Triathlon, which is a weekly, or in episode three's case, which is this episode, monthly video series that we're going to be doing throughout the winter and into next season to kind of help keep everybody connected and in touch with what's going on here at Endure It, and hopefully give you guys some cool tricks and advice along the way. What we wanted to touch on, we wanted to go over kind of two things in this episode. And one of which is the off season. We are in November now, and it's officially, well, not for everybody. There's still a few people out there doing Ironman Arizona. We had a few people doing Ironman Florida as well, and congratulations to some awesome races from Jane Fetty. And who else was at Ironman Florida? Sarah Gibre. Thank you, Sarah. So Sarah Gibre, awesome race at Ironman Florida along with Jane Fetty. They had incredible races. They trained really hard for it. And coming up in just a couple weeks, we have Gene Quinn and Dave and Jen Schifo doing Ironman Arizona, and we're really pumped to see how they do. They're prepared for it, so I have no doubt they're going to be great. But for the other 97% of us, we are in the off season, and we get asked this question throughout the entire year about what to do during the off season. So Sarah and I came up with a really cool 3 off-season to-do list that we kind of go over with everybody that she coaches and I coach and that we coach. And it's a really good way to kind of set yourself up for a really successful next season. And number 1 on that list is to relax, take a deep breath. A lot of people, if you didn't have a great season this past year, or you have some really big goals for next year, you come in here, you're super excited to really get after some high intensity, high volume training. And what happens then is you kind of get burnt out towards March, April, and it makes for a really, really long year. So this is the time of year that you should be really taking a deep breath, giving yourself a break, both mentally, physically, emotionally, and just enjoy being yourself. Enjoy those extra couple hours of sleep if you can. Enjoy doing some things that you don't get to do during the summer. Take up cross-country skiing or boxing or whatever. Use this time to really give yourself that mental and physical break, because it's an extremely important part of becoming a successful athlete. So that's number 1. Relax, take a deep breath, and give yourself a little bit of a break. Number 2, this was my contribution to the list, was actually sit down by yourself or with your coach and write out your goals for next year. It doesn't have to be anything spectacular. It doesn't have to be, I want to win Ironman Wisconsin. It doesn't have to be anything other than what your mental and your physical goals are for next year. They don't have to be centered around a specific time and a specific race. I have specific goals that kind of tie into triathlon, but they don't have anything to do with race times. But I think it's really important to actually have those goals in a place that you see daily, because they obviously help with your motivation, but they also help with your with your structure and your focus throughout the year. You kind of understand why you're doing this, why you wake up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning to come to Endure It and ride your bike. It helps keep reminding yourself of those goals. But make sure that you talk to them with your coach if you have a coach, because it's important for your coach to have that information, because then they can help you achieve those goals. And number 3, the most important one, is to make sure that you have the tools in place to have a successful next year. A big mistake that we see a lot of people make is that they make the same mistakes year after year after year after year, and they don't set themselves up to correct those mistakes. They don't set themselves up for success next year. So if something was bothering you last year, whether it be physical or just how you structured your workouts or what races you picked, make sure that you're setting yourself up to fix those problems so that you don't have the exact same demons in your head next November. If it means talking to a coach, reach out to Sarah or myself and say, hey, can I sit down with you and talk about the races I'm thinking about doing? Because it's always nice to have that extra set of ears that can help navigate some of the pitfalls that everybody experiences. It's not unique to you. Everybody has these problems. So that's number 3, is just make sure that you're setting yourself up with the tools that you need to be successful for the next year. So that's our 3 bullet point list of things to do in this off season. Number 4 on that list is sign up for Beat the Bird, which I know most of you haven't done, because I get to see the signups every day, and I'm missing a few people. So I need you to get online and sign up, because it's going to be awesome, especially if it's 60 degrees like it is now. You got to sign up, because you can do it in shorts and a tank top. The second thing that we wanted to touch on, and this is really important, because this week at Endure It, at all the CompuTrainer classes, it's threshold testing week, which is everybody's favorite week of the year. Surprisingly, we've had a lot of really successful tests. Not because you guys are super strong cyclists. We've known that for a long time. But they've been really successful because very few people have complained about them. But this threshold testing, we encourage it in every class that we have. It has very little to do with who you are as a person. It has more to do with this, getting us a snapshot of your cycling fitness today, and it helps us write better workouts for you. This year we switched to we've always had a 30-minute test, but this last year we did a 20-minute, and we're going back to the 30-minute test. And we haven't really gotten the best reception from that, but it's important to do a 30-minute test for a lot of reasons. Reason number 1, it's far more accurate than a 20-minute test. Technically, you're only really supposed to take about 90-95% of that 20-minute test number, and use that as your threshold, which we didn't do for you guys last year. But we got together as coaches, Todd, Craig, Tad, and Sarah, and myself, and we would be doing you a huge disservice if we didn't, again, give you those tools to be successful for next year. And to do that, we need to make sure that we're getting the most reliable information that we can get. So a 30-minute test, trust me, is far more accurate. It's far more beneficial for you as an athlete to do a 30-minute test over a 20-minute. And if you really don't like a 30-minute, we can do an hour, which is even more accurate, but we don't want to do that to you guys. So 30-minute test. If you have any questions about testing, you can always reach out to any of the coaches. Again, the threshold test that we do here is designed for us. We came up with it, 10, 11 years ago. There's several other tests out there. I should say several other testing protocols out there, all designed to get different information that does different things. And a 30-minute max effort test is what we need to make sure that we're writing you guys the best workouts we can, to make sure that you guys are the strongest cyclists in the peloton, out on the road this next year. So have fun. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to myself, Sarah, Todd, Tad, Craig. We're always here to help. We're always here to sit down and answer questions. So have fun, and we will see you soon. Paul! Did you order the pizza?